In this video, I want to talk about what skills does a great project scheduler have. Now, I've already spoken about why project schedule management is critical to the success of a project. Now, I want to dive into, to be a great project scheduler, to use these tools and processes efficiently and effectively to finish the project on time, what skills should a great scheduler hold? Now, I believe the 5 skills a great project scheduler should hold are teamwork, big picture thinking, problem solving, understanding of project methodologies, and also technical scheduling skills. Now, these skills are put together based on 10 years working in the industry, looking at what consistently great schedulers have. Now, whether these schedulers are full-time planning and project controls professional, or they're project managers who have an incredibly good understanding of the schedule, good schedulers always have these 5 skills. So the first one of these is teamwork, and I believe this is the most important one. So teamwork is the ability to work with and collaborate with others. And why does this matter for project schedulers? Because I think there's traditionally a perception in the industry that when we think of a great scheduler, we think of someone sitting alone in a dark room tapping away at P6. Well, in reality, scheduling is a collaboration, it's a communication function. Because first reason I think this is true is that projects are incredibly complicated. I'm talking about major construction projects, big infrastructure projects. They're too complicated for one person to understand. You think about what's involved in building a building. You might have earthworks, foundations, there'll be design, you'll need architects and engineers, they'll have to get approval from stakeholders, you can begin the construction, foundations, the structural steel, the building fit out, the electrical, the services, the landscaping, so many different activities that all require to build a proper project schedule, capturing the methodologies and the specifics of all these tasks. Way too complicated for any single one person to understand. So you need to be able to work with the broader team to take their inputs, take their expertise, and capture this in the project methodology and the project schedule. Top of this, when you move from creating the schedule to delivering the schedule, you need to be able to collaborate with the broader team. You need to implement the schedule, so you need to communicate what activities have to occur in the next couple of weeks, what tasks are critical, what's on the critical path, where we should be focusing on allocating resources. So you're working with the team to implement the schedule. But on the other hand, as the project is progressing, you'll get information on how different tasks are progressing. And you'll need to take this information from the team. You'll need clear communication from them. You'll need accurate progress reports. You'll need to integrate this into the schedule, reforecast activity completion dates, and make sure that you're keeping the schedule a relevant and useful tool for managing the project works. And all of that is going to happen through communication and collaborating with the broader project team and key stakeholders. The next skill all great schedulers have is big picture thinking. They understand and prioritize the project outcomes, and they specifically understand the role of scheduling in achieving these project outcomes. Now, the schedule is a tool that we use to achieve the project outcome. So to be a great scheduler, you need to understand the role that the schedule plays and how it relates to the project outcomes, how it relates to cost outcomes, how it relates to quality outcomes, how it relates to safety outcomes. The first way this big picture thinking, constantly prioritizing the project outcomes, manifests itself is that when people build the schedule in the development and pre-construction phase, is that they understand the role of the schedule in the pre-construction phase is primarily for working out how long the project is going to take and optimizing the important things. So when they create the schedule, they start with creating a high-level schedule that captures the broad project methodology. They understand what the critical areas to focus on are, and then they focus on these areas. Then when we move into the implementation phase, they understand that you're not going to have perfect information. There's going to be changes, there's going to be uncertainty, but they focus on keeping the schedule relevant and useful as a project management tool. They want to make sure the important dates are all captured, the important information is communicated to key people, and they help shape the project's team's focus on the key activities that have a risk of delaying the project. And using this big picture thinking, they ensure that the project scheduling function of the project directly relates to the success of the project. Next skill great schedulers have is problem solve. Projects are uncertain. Projects involve risk. Things will go wrong during project delivery. It'll rain more than we expected. Subcontractors or vendors will be delayed. Challenges are going to arise, and great project schedulers understand the goal of the project. They have this big picture thinking. And then when issues come up, they can use the schedule as a tool to help overcome and deal with these constraints. They help manage all of these unforeseen changes. They use the schedule as a communication tool. They work with the experts, and then they help the experts work through how to overcome any unforeseen challenges in the problem using effective problem solving. The next thing I see great schedulers having is an understanding of project methodologies and what it takes to deliver a project. Now, I've already spoken about how communication is important because that allows schedulers to gather this methodology from the experts who understand the work. I also believe that great project schedulers have experience delivering projects. They understand construction methodologies, they understand the basic concepts around the different engineering disciplines, and they understand the basics of the construction process. They might not understand them in intricate detail. That's why they need their communication skills to engage with these subject matter professionals, but they do understand the broad methodologies that go into the schedule. And this is going to help them to ensure the schedule is capturing the methodology correctly and that they can adjust the schedule as specific issues arise in specific domains. So they engage with experts, but they also need some basic understanding of the construction principles and processes behind the activity. Okay, the final one, and this is an obvious one, are technical scheduling skills. Scheduling is a technical set of processes. You need to understand the fundamental project scheduling principles like the critical path method or earned value management. So it's about understanding these fundamental principles, but then also how to use them in a specific software. Now, it's very common in construction projects to use Primavera P6. To be an efficient scheduler, to be an effective scheduler, you need to have technical skills on how to use software like Primavera, how to use it to its full capability, and take all the information you've gathered from the project team, you're understanding the project methodology, and use it to its full capabilities to resource load the schedule, to sequence activities correctly, and basically have a strong fundamental understanding of project scheduling.